Hey friends, Pastor Connor here for this month's edition of Ask Pastor Connor. We've got a really good and tough question this month, from Debbie Gaffney, a member at Center Church in Meriden. And Debbie is asking, what is spirituality and how do we experience it? Uh, Fantastic question. I had a lot of trouble being able to answer this, and I think it's because this question can be answered a billion different ways by a billion different people. But I think the first place that we have to start is by defining spirituality. The definition of spirituality is the quality of being concerned with the human spirit or soul as opposed to material or physical things. So that kind of tracks with the common understanding of spirituality as being something that deals with what's beyond just this tangible world that we live in, where we experience it through our senses. It involves the recognition of a feeling or sense or belief that there is something greater than myself or the individual self, something more. And the greater whole that which we are a part of is divine in nature. If we track with that, so that the wider world that we are a part of is somehow in some way spiritual, because we are spiritual beings living in a tangible material world. So for a little bit of a better understanding, I think it's helpful to compare and contrast spirituality with religion. So spirituality is generally understood today as an expression of self-discovery. It's that personal experience of the divine and who it is we are created to be, that pressing into our true self. When separate from religion, spirituality can be very eclectic and draw from a wide range of traditions, mixing and matching according to our individual tastes, what feels right, because that is, in essence, spirituality deals with a feeling that you can't quite quantify. Religion, on the other hand, is a concept that has boundaries. Religion, especially organized religion, incorporates ideas of an institution or a formal organized society. And when we reflect those ideas or rituals, it defines our membership within that group. Religion is communal in nature, and because of this, it is tied to a historical narrative which ties past to present and anticipation of the future. Religion is much more concrete than spirituality and attends to our shared experiences as individual beings in this world. When I think about this topic, I don't see religion and spirituality as separate necessarily, or opposites, that I'm spiritual but not religious. People claim that, and that's absolutely an identity that many people claim nowadays. But I think it comes from a flawed understanding of what religion is. When people say I'm spiritual but not religious, I think they're saying I am spiritual, I believe in a higher power, but I choose not to affiliate with organized religion because of X, Y, and Z. For me, I like to use the analogy of spirituality and religion in relationship with one another as like a hand within a glove. Spirituality is the hand, which is the animated being that exhibits life, and is connected to the source of its life. A religion is a glove, a set of rituals and beliefs by which we express our spirituality. So the ways in which we express our spirituality and experience it are often, in my definition, the way we express spirituality is through religion, whether it's organized like an institution like Christianity, or whether it's something that is an eclectic collection of traditions, different practices that work well for us. That is religion. And some people, prefer mittens. Some prefer gloves with fingers. Some like fingerless gloves, and some prefer no gloves in the winter altogether. But so that's kind of how I see religion and spirituality in tandem with one another. The hand being spirituality and the glove being religion. I believe spirituality and religion exist together and coexist together. Kind of, I've said before, spirituality is that deeply felt personal and individual connection to the larger divine, and understanding that we have a relationship as individuals with a divine and higher power. Whereas religion is expressed in community with one another. The doctrine of religion helps to govern our individual spiritual selves in faithful action and expression. While we experience life from our individual perspective, we live in relationship with others, which necessarily means that the balance between spirituality and religion, and our understanding of faith too, has to strike a balance between our individual self and ourselves in relationship with other people in our community. Part of what we see in the decline of organized religion is a rejection of unhealthy doctrine, doctrine that marginalizes others, or doctrine that doesn't align enough with the realized personal experience of faith. Unhealthy, harmful, and rigid faith practices occur when individuals begin to universalize their individual experience of spirituality. So again, you see the push and pull between what I believe and what I experience and what is experienced by the whole community here. And so when individuals try and turn the communal into something that reflects their individual spirituality wholly, that's them forcing their own experience on others. And that's not a healthy spirit. That's not a healthy religious practice. When people try and skew the faith practices of many to fit their own personal beliefs, they become colonizers, coercive people who come into a space, deem what exists as unworthy or unholy in order to help reassure themselves of their own holiness. And then they thereby go and coerce others to believe the same things, so that they begin to align with a world that prioritizes themselves. This is a prime example of the broken relationship between organized religion and spirituality that we see today. Some abandon faith and organized religion because of the religious hypocrisy that they've experienced. And that's how they become identifying as spiritual, but not religious. Again, religiously unaffiliated to me is the better term, because religion doesn't have to be expressed within an organized institution for it to be religion. It simply is faith expressed, however that is expressed. But the disillusionment with organized religion has created a divide that keeps this misunderstanding alive. I believe that we're all religious in some way, and that we can reject bad religion. To heal this divide and bring our individual spirituality into healthy relationship with the world around us, words from novelist Wendell Berry really hits the nail on the head for me. He writes, "We have lived our lives by the assumption that what was good for us would be good for the world. We've been wrong. We must change our own lives so that it will be possible to live by the contrary assumption, that what is good for the world will be good for us. And that requires that we make the effort to know the world and learn what is good for the world." What Berry calls for here, whether knowingly or not, is a faith ethic that asks, what is good for the world? Because when it asks what is good for the world, it assumes that what is good for the world is also good for me. Centering the world ensures a spirituality that can be felt anywhere in the world, instead of being limited to our personal preferences, the finitude of our personal preferences. Finding balance between individual spirituality that both nourishes us and the world around us, I believe, is what God calls us towards. That is the base of spirituality, that connectedness with God, and thereby connectedness with the world around us, because God created us as individuals and created the rest of life. And so spirituality has to attend to that. And the experience that it is created in religious settings, in that expression of faith, have to attend to that too. Seems I've kind of gone down a rabbit hole, but the question is a deep one, and I could probably go on and on and on and ramble, but I'll finish by saying that spirituality, again, is the connection we feel to the divine, expressed and experienced in ways both tangible and intangible. We experience it through emotions. We experience spirituality in rituals. We experience it in silence. We experience it in just simply breathing alone. Anything and everything can be spiritual, and anything and everything can be religious if we believe in the fact that God created all things and can be found in all things. Thus, meaning that we, in turn, through our spirituality and the religion through which we express it, love all things in the way that God loves us. Friends, thank you for taking the time to listen to this video. Today is, I believe it's July 6th or 7th, something like that. And we are looking so forward at Center Church to be worshiping in person on Sunday in our sanctuary at 9:30 a.m. So feel free to stop by and worship with us on Sunday. We're so looking forward to being back in our sanctuary for our summer worship schedule starting at 9:30. So we'll look forward to seeing you all there. And friends, take care and God bless.